Good afternoon. My name is Buffy. I'm a women's lifestyle creator on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, covering topics such as women's lifestyle. I also have two podcasts. One is Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress, which deals with psychology issues such as it being hard to be yourself, as well as fake niceness, manipulation tactics, gaslighting, things such as family roles, as well as perfectionism, people pleasing, any number of things that could potentially cause snags in the way that you view life and how things work out. I've actually started a new series on essentially, hey, how you doing? Prana, how are you doing today? Good to see you. So today we're actually talking about roles, family roles. If you know anything about family roles, you know that generally these roles are established early on. Namaste. Glad to see you. Glad to see a friendly face today. Went on TikTok and people tried to sabotage my live, so that was fun, at least 5 times. So thanks for the like. I appreciate it. Nice to see you. You doing well today? So today we're talking about a lot of us didn't grow up being ourselves. Oh, okay. A lot of us didn't grow up to be ourselves because we were given roles. We were given expectations. We were given a roadmap and almost a contract that we didn't even know we signed. Oh, that makes sense. Is it because of the owners of TikTok? Or do they think that, you know, just whatever reason that the government wants for that? That makes sense. I know that we blocked it for a little bit here, and then they ended up deciding that it would be okay because they were concerned about the Chinese component. I haven't, but I've seen things on India. My husband's a history nerd. Well, good to see you, Prana. I'm glad to see you for sure. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. So guys, if you're just joining us, welcome. If you've not met me before, my name is Buffy. I'm a women's lifestyle creator on TikTok and Instagram. And I also have 2 podcasts. Thank you for the likes, guys. I also have 2 podcasts. One is Recovering Perfectionist Mama. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Are you sending it to me or how are you doing it, Prana? So where's it? Okay. So I actually have 2 podcasts. One is Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress, which dives into topics like these, such as family roles, which we're talking about today. And then other topics. I also have a podcast on true crime. I'm an almost 18-year criminal defense attorney. It's called Grace and Gavel, where truth meets compassion. And I provide legal analysis on criminal cases you might be familiar with. So let's talk about today. So today, the role you were given was not the real you. It was a role that would essentially serve the family unit. Hey, how you doing? And so it was important that you kept that role, right? Hello. I hate that they do the white. Hey, Alice. I tell you, I don't know what it is. I think if it was like some other color, it would be easier to see. But hey, Alice, welcome. My name is Buffy if you haven't met me yet. Today, we're talking about the role that was given to you in your family that was never the real you, okay? A lot of us grow up being ourselves, but we were given roles. And ultimately, those roles put us within certain parameters, certain expectations, because that is what the family is requiring, right? And so if you know, you may not, anyone know what role that they were assigned? Welcome, Fazan. How are you? Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Does anyone know what role they were assigned? There's roles such as the peacemaker. The peacemaker obviously is how it sounds. It's a person that keeps the peace. Welcome. And then there's also the person who kind of manages conflict. I'm good, thank you. Anything new today? Enjoying the day and cool. From the UK, welcome from across the pond. Isn't that what they say? From across the pond. I've never been to England, but I've been to Spain and France once. So, so yeah, definitely different world. Oh, it's raining. Is it cold there? No, not enjoying the weather. Totally understand. Hey, how you doing, Curtis Carter? My name's Buffy, if you don't know me. I'm a women's lifestyle creator on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I also have two podcasts. One is a psychology channel, Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress. And the other one is a true crime. I'm an almost 18-year criminal defense attorney called Grace and Gavel, where I go into legal analysis of true crime cases such as Scott Peterson, the Menendez brothers, and various other cases if you're interested. This is recovering_perfectionist_mama on YouTube. That's where they're housed if you're interested. I'm a recovering perfectionist is what I say. I don't have any substance recovery, but I've actually helped people in my legal career who've been battling with addiction. And I know that it can be extremely difficult. Awesome. Congratulations. So when you say football, are you talking soccer or are you talking actual like football? Like, cool. Awesome. Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Alishba, soccer. Yes. Yes. Football or what? Football, right? Yes. You're welcome. Awesome. So a lot of us don't grow up being ourselves because we were given roles, and our roles had certain parameters, right? Maybe you were the peacemaker. You were the person that made sure that your caregiver. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you for the hearts. It means a lot to me. And if you feel led and you feel like you're getting value, feel free to like and subscribe if you like. And so if you know what role you actually were, then feel free to weigh in. I know that there is the peacemaker, which the peacemaker is generally the person that tries to keep the caregiver calm, especially if they're known to be a person who can be explosive or easily triggered. There's got to be someone who has that person under control, right? To monitor their actions, whether they're crying, whether they're upset. America is really nice. It's a diverse area. It's a very large area. And different regions have different kind of climates and environments. And there's a lot of diverse people here too as well. So you got to check it out sometime, right? Got 50 states, and I haven't been to all 50, I'll be honest. I'm from the Midwest, which is where a lot of corn is grown. People are fairly down to earth here. And a lot of us are known just as Midwesterners, middle of the road. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Yep. We grow corn and we like potatoes, things like that. A lot of us are just, middle of the road people, friendly people. I don't think that you can do well without having friendly people around you. I've been helping someone with a campaign and we've been out canvassing. I know potatoes are awesome. I'm a potato connoisseur, whatever that is. But, and so we've been canvassing, meaning handing out things, flyers and stuff. And everyone has been very nice and very kind, right? And I like it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I need that from after my TikTok experience, but so your roles essentially dictate what you do and what what your role is going to be. And the thing is, it's chosen in childhood, right? How many of us have changed since we were children? A lot of us, right? A lot of us. But the thing is, the family doesn't want you to change Because if you change, if you evolve, then you might not want that role anymore. And you're stuck with it. Contract you never signed. You didn't know what you were getting into when you were 4 or 5 years old. Or maybe you're the strong one. You're the one that takes care of what everyone else does, right? They come to you because you're the one that can handle it. You're the one that can deal with things that they may not be able to deal with or they don't understand. But the problem with the strong one is the strong one always fends for themselves because everyone else is coming asking. And then all of a sudden, there we go, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I guess, trying to think now. A lot of our stores have been kind of closing lately just because, the economy and things like that. So it's been kind of interesting. I don't know that I have a favorite store. So the other role you could potentially get too is the troublemaker, right? And so essentially, the troublemaker is the one who always gets blamed for something, right? They're the ones who ultimately are going to be the person who notices signals are wrong before everyone else does. So they become the truth teller. And as many of you know, what is one thing that people don't like? They don't always like the truth. If you've ever seen A Few Good Men, you've heard you can't handle the truth, right? Welcome, Angela. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about the role you were given was never the real you. And here's why. Because when you were a child at whatever age you were when you were assigned this role, you have evolved from then. But guess what? Your family is not seeing your evolvement, your growth, right? It benefits them for you to stay the same. Can any of us stay the same from childhood to adulthood? Likely not. If we've done that, then we're basically acting like children, right? Because we need to be able to evolve in our mind. We need to be able to evolve in our body. We need to be able to evolve in our language and our understanding of concepts, more advanced concepts than when we were children. When we were children, we were learning our alphabet. We were learning nursery rhymes. We were learning things like that. Now, we're learning more things about life. We're learning about finance. We're learning about health. We're learning about exercise, all sorts of things that are important to learn about and to grow and to evolve. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Come back and see us again. And anyone have any expectations to be perfect? Were you expected to be the perfect one or the golden child, the one who always did things right? The one who was always working for that. You know what I mean? Trying to be that way. And so anyone know what role they have or what role they had in their family dynamic? And oftentimes perfectionism can actually be an expectation. And perfectionism is more than just being perfect at everything, right? I mean, it's pretty much having this solid foundation in which you're performing. You're not really being who you actually are, but you have this pressure to be perfect in everything that you do, right? And it's an action, it's in words, it's not having an off moment. It may be trying to look perfect. It may be trying to act like, you were so, and you have a lot of information on things that you may or may not have on. And it can be extremely tiring because ultimately people think that perfectionism is the standard. But let's be honest, perfectionism is a trap. It's a trap who tells you that if you do everything right, you're not going to cause conflict. You're not going to cause drama. Everything is going to be so. Is that the case? No, it's not. Because perfectionism starts taking over more and more and more and more. And it's like the more you do, the more you want to do. The better you are, the better you want to be, right? And so it's almost like a thing that is driving you insane because if you mess up even a little bit, you are going to be the hardest person on yourself because you failed. You didn't live up to the standard. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It can be extremely difficult to feel like you always have to be on. You always have to be perfect because no one's perfect, right? We all make mistakes. And that's okay because we're human, we're learning. No one is perfect. But the thing is, you have this expectation that perfection is within your reach. Ultimately, perfection is not within our reach. As a recovering perfectionist myself, I can say to you, it can do a lot of damage internally, right? It can make you feel like you need to always be on, you need to please people, you need to make people happy, you need to do what you're supposed to do and go even above and beyond. And there's never an off moment. There's never a moment where you relax and say, okay, I've made it. Because guess what? You're never going to make it. No one is ever going to make the perfection thing, ever. Funny story, I actually had a boss one time when I was working at a factory for a part-time gig. And I had misfiled something. Like it was just a simple form, like a handbook form, like acknowledge they got it. Let's say I filed Bob Smith's and Tom Smith's, and I got called to the office. Did not have any other issues. And I got called to the office and I was shown the two forms. And the boss that was in charge said, can you tell me what's wrong with this? And I was like, I have no idea. And she's like, well, these are the forms. And she said, you filed Bob's and Tom's and Bob's. And I was like, okay. And she goes, what do you do when you see something that's misfiled? And I said, I take it out and I put it in the correct file. She's like, okay. She's like, well, from now on, I'm going to need you to agree that you will be 100% from now on. And I looked at her and I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I said, I don't think I can agree to that because I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And the only person that I know that's perfect it's not you and it's not me. And I would be lying to you if I told you that I could be perfect because I couldn't and I can't. I do my best, but we all make mistakes. She's like, okay, and of course I wanted to say, I'm not being a smart aleck when I say I just take it out and I refile it. I mean, it was not like the end of the world. It wasn't confidential information. It wasn't personal information. It was a handbook acknowledgement form, which had no identifying information on it. You know what I mean? So you think about that and you're like, how can you ask someone else to be perfect? Are you perfect? Am I perfect? No. And we're never going to be, right? Would I love to be? Absolutely. But is it going to happen? No. And that's why perfectionism is a trap. It lures you in with the idea of all these false promises and it never delivers one of them. Welcome, James. Never delivers one of them, period. You want it to, but it doesn't, right? And so were you ever blamed for something that you didn't do? If so, then you likely might be the scapegoat. I'm good. How are you doing? You might be the scapegoat. You might be the one who is the person that saw the truth before everyone else and told people what was actually going on. We're all being pigeonholed into this box that we don't really fit in because mom and dad want to make sure that all of our dirty laundry stays in-house. All of our negative things stay in-house so we can be seen as the perfect family. And ultimately, appearances are just that, appearances. I had a relative who was talking about the other side of our family and was saying, oh, well, their family's so much different than like our family and this and this and that. I'm like, you know what? You don't know. Oh, welcome, James. Very cool. Very cool. So Latino, it's really hard to see this because it's white. France, Turkish, India, Arab, and Persian. Very cool. Very, very cool. Welcome. I met someone from, is it Tunisia? Yes, I knew someone from Tunisia. I had met him a while back. I'm trying to think what his name was now. Darn it. I can see his face. I just can't think of his name. But if you were the person that was the scapegoat, and you realize. And so ultimately, we can look at other people's backgrounds, or we can look at other people from the outside in thinking that we actually know them. And we actually think that they may have a better life. They may have a perfect life. But guess what? A lot of that is all based on appearances. And appearances can be deceiving. People can convey anything that they want to speak, that they want to convey. No, I actually don't. I speak a little bit of Spanish and obviously English, of course, but no, I don't speak Turkish. But I knew that person. Yeah, because we used to see him quite frequently. Oh, darn it. I felt like his name was on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. And then also, or did you feel like you were the person that needed to keep the peace, right? Because there's a big role for that. No, war is not good. Not at all. It only harms people and harms the world and everything else. I think people need to learn how to get along, but that's me, that's my beliefs. And I just think people are people, no matter what country you're from, we're all basically the same. We all bleed red. We all have 2 legs and 2 arms and brain and a heart and family that loves us, likely friends that love us. Like, doesn't make any sense, but that's me. I don't like to see people hurt in any form or fashion. So the role they gave you was not about you. It had nothing to do with you. It had to do with what they wanted. Oh, very cool. I've seen videos of Dubai. It looks very large and very cool. So in closing, guys, it was not your identity, and it served them rather than serving you. That was the point. So in closing, this is a part of a series. Next, we're going deeper into this. So feel free to tune in again, guys. I appreciate you, each and every one of you. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. I tend to go live on TikTok at noon Eastern, and then go live on YouTube live at 12:30 Eastern. And I'm heading to Instagram live here, BuffyStar_fashions here very soon, and doing a third live. So I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And if you feel that you got some value from this, feel free to give us a follow. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all again soon. I appreciate your support. Have a great day. Bye-bye.